Well, what a contest we have in store here between two men in different portions of their career. They hail from the Seychelles and Uganda. The man wearing red, operating behind a low-held guard and a wide-legged stance, is 32-year-old Andeique Allisop. And if you're a fan of IBA boxing, you will perhaps know all about this man, two-time Olympian, having represented the Seychelles on the Olympic stage in 2012 and 2016, but the man who is showing no respect for his reputation, marching his way forward, is bout Turyatemba of Uganda. He just 22 years of age, come to the ring with a perfect professional record, 13 fights, 13 wins, and in those victories, 7 of them have come via the short route for a 54% KO ratio. Made his debut in December of 2023. His last bout was in August of this year, but he has returned to the 3-round format in the vest in Kampala last month. That was over 5 rounds, interestingly enough, and he scored a stoppage in the 4th. But the man sporting the buff back hairstyle, just bobbing and weaving on the edge of range before being driven back to the ropes, is Andeique Allisop, the 2-time Olympian. And he returned to the boxing ring last month after 6 years away. Last boxed competitively in 2018. He said that his return to the ring is something deeply personal. Oh, that's a wonderful left cross, and now it's a firefight with Allisop on the ropes. So not going to be fazed by what he's seen, but how effective and locked in will his timing be after so long away from competitive action. The desire will be there, the know-how will be there, but will the timing enable him to demonstrate the abundance of knowledge that he has acquired over the years? Returning fighters to the ring often feel better than ever, because the body has healed, after training has been put down for a while, all of the little nick. Oh, that's a wonderful right hand from Allisop, and he scores with a slapping left hook on the inside, but Turyatemba just walking through them. But even though boxers can feel fresh and fantastic physically, sometimes the ring rust can just rob them of their timing, but Allisop seems to be finding his timing the deeper we go through this opening round. So rough, tough contest, this one. And solid shots being slung in by Turyatemba. Allisop keeping his cool under fire, swaying on the ropes, and a hard-hitting conclusion to that opening round. There's an example of the shot selection from Turyatemba, and I happen to think that the man who was able to land these scything hooks and searing straights are enough to give him the round. Allisop did begin to find his timing, and look, he's having success there, but there's no doubt that the man getting the better of the exchange is Turyatemba. And I think that is how the contest played out over the first 3 minutes, even though Allisop did seem to grow into the bout the deeper we got into the first round. But what say the 5 scoring judges? And it's a clean sweep of the cards for bout Turyatemba. He takes the first round unanimously.
2.
So we move into the second round. And the southpaw bout Turyatemba using rapier-like right hand to launch 2-fisted attacks. He really is active. That broad back and those long arms, and lets his hands go. My goodness, caught with a rabbit punch was Allisop, and then while he was over in a crouch, a right uppercut came through underneath. So both men inaccurate with their attempted backhands. And Allisop, we've spoken to about his responsibility to keep his head up. Jab not too far away from Turyatemba, and then he did score the right cross, and he leads off on this occasion to measure the gap effectively with his lead right hand once again. So Allisop keeping cool under fire in his own red corner. Now Allisop has been spoken to repeatedly about keeping his head up, and now he's been docked a point. So that point deduction will be taken into account at the end of the contest. Now just adding to his difficulties, as though he hasn't got enough to deal with in the form of this sharp shooting pot shot merchant, Bob Turyatemba, the undefeated professional from Uganda. So both men rendering the other inaccurate. Clever two-shot combination on the inside from Allisop, and just driven back to the ropes. Again, in the work of Allisop, such is the hard-earned experience that he has built up over the course of that career of multiple Olympics cycles and 2 Olympic appearances. But he is being kept near the perimeter of the boxing ring here. Oh, that's a wonderful right hook, and another power-driving right hand goes through from Turyatemba once again. And Allisop square on the ropes. Again, the expression never changing, but he's been pushed further and further to the margins of this contest because his successes fewer and farther between, as good work to both head and body from Turyatemba. Now it's his turn to be spoken to about his responsibility to keep his head up. So Allisop looking to present a small side on target and fight out of a crouch. Oh, that is a wonderful left cross. And Allisop is showing that his chin is as sturdy as ever, but it has been checked repeatedly during the course of this bout so far. Still standing strong, but having conceded the first round unanimously, surely it is going to be another clean sweep of the cards in favor of the man in blue. Pinged his man with some really effective straight punching. No seeming effect or response from Allisop, but they are piling up the points for the Ugandan bomber. That was where the rabbit punch came into play around the rear of Allisop's head. But he spent a lot of time in that round in that position on or near the ropes, limiting his movement options. And look at Allisop thinking his way in, showing good variety in his work. And that was a cracking left cross. Pulled back, snaked out the left cross, came back to keep the attack going. 2 rounds completed and both of them taken unanimously in favor of Bob Turyatemba. Judge number 3 scoring the second round of a 10-8 margin. And remember, a point deduction has been taken
round 3
from Andeique Allisop in the second round for not keeping his head up. So as we move into the third and final round, Andeique Allisop is facing an uphill task here. Turyatemba's mouthpiece has just been dislodged. So you see the referee making that gesture. If that mouthpiece is dislodged on another 2 occasions, that will result in a point deduction off the card of Allisop. Excuse me, off the card of Turyatemba. And Turyatemba setting about his man once again. Now he's been spoken to in no uncertain terms about keeping his head up. So, borderline blow. Allisop not making a meal of it. Just giving some time to recover. So Allisop, again, his defense is penetrated, and another thunderous right hook slams in, and it's a left hook off the back foot from Allisop, dislodging the mouthpiece for the second time in the round. So, got to keep his jaw clenched here, because in the event that another shot dislodges the mouthpiece of Bob Turyatemba, I think he's going to be docked a point. Now bear in mind that Andeique Allisop was docked a point in the second round for failing to keep his head up, as straight punches coming out in piston-like fashion from Bob Turyatemba. But the mouthpiece being punched out or spat out on one more occasion will probably result in a point deduction off the card of Bob Turyatemba as he gets through with a southpaw left hook, then working the body, keeping his cool under fire is Allisop, but he's coming out second best in these trade-offs here. Turyatemba just keen to free his arms and get back into the fray. Walks in behind a right jab. Beautiful, educated right cross fired from Allisop. Tried to follow up with a right cross left hook. Now I think that's going to be the final talking to about his responsibility to keep his head up in the direction of Turyatemba. But Allisop showing his poise and his ring craft here, but I just don't think he's done enough or has been doing enough. I don't think he's done enough to get himself back into the contest here. But he's always a threat because he's demonstrated some really educated punch picking as he's driven back towards the ropes once again as another stiff left cross caused his knees to dip momentarily, and now for all the poker space that he's able to demonstrate, all of the experience of Andeique Allisop being put to the test here because he's been hit hard and often, and now you can see that he's in danger of taking a trip to the canvas at the hands of this hard-hitting southpaw from Uganda. He's in the invidious position of having to stand and fight because he can't stick and move, and his chin is being checked repeatedly, swaying on the ropes, trying to bob and weave. And that a very good 3 rounds of boxing produced by Bob Turyatemba. It's a long, lonely walk back to the red corner for the 2-time Olympian Andeique Allisop. He gave it absolutely everything on his return to the ring after a 6-year absence. But he found Bob Turyatemba in terrific mood in his opening bout of Dubai 2025, and in the closing stages of the 3rd round, well, it took all of the experience and conditioning and resolve and resilience of Andeique Allisop to remain upright. Was sent tottering from one set of ropes to the other.
Curious where the market might move next? You could spend hours studying patterns and technical analysis, or you could try pocket
body, literally legging it away from trouble to keep away from the unrelenting attack of Turyatemba, but I think it's going to be a unanimous point decision win for the Ugandan Bomber.
The winner of this bout, on points by unanimous decision, is the boxer in the blue corner, representing Uganda, Bob Turyatemba.
So Bob Turyatemba taking it on a unanimous decision by a wide margin.